wabarakatuh. I am Wang Santika Agustini. I am a student of Universitas Terbuka UPBJJ Bandung. Study program Magister Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris. My student number is 501-232-911. This video is made to fulfill the task of grammar analysis course with the lecturer Dr. Andang Saihu. Hello everybody. Today we are going to discuss English grammar about noun clause and adjective clause. Before talking about noun clause and adjective clause, we should recall our memory about clause. Do you remember what is clause? Yes, clause is a group of words that includes a subject and a verb and can form a sentence or part of a sentence. Subject plus verb is clause. Now, let's go back to noun clause and adjective clause. These clauses belong to dependent clause. Dependent clause is the clause that cannot stand alone. It needs independent clause to have meaning as complete sentence. A noun clause is a clause that functions as a noun. Noun clause usually appears after the verbs know, remember, find out, figure out, see, understand, care, doubt, hate, like, and love. A noun clause can start with WH questions, whether or if, and that. For example, I don't know what she wants for her birthday. What she wants for her birthday is noun clause. It starts with WH questions. What, where, who, why are WH questions. What she wants for her birthday functions as object. Other examples. Whether we will go or not is none of your business. Whether we will go or not is a noun clause. It starts with whether and it functions as subject.
Next examples. My dream is that all my students become successful people. That all my students become successful people is noun clause. It starts with that. It functions as complement. Complement is something that completes the statement that precedes it. Another example. My dream that I can go around the world seems to be absurd. That I can go around the world is noun clause. It starts with that. It functions as a positive. It adds information, the word that precedes it, namely my dream.
Before we go to adjective clause, let's have some drills to sharpen our memory. From these sentences, decide which part is noun clause and what is the function of noun clause. Number 1. Anyone who studies diligently will pass the exam. Number 2. The question is whether we have enough resources to complete the task. Number 3. Her statement that she delivered with confidence left a lasting impression on the audience. And number 4. She didn't understand why he was upset.
Let's analyze the noun clause. Number 1. Anyone who studies diligently will pass the exam. Which one is the noun clause and what is the function? Yes, the noun clause is anyone who studies diligently and it functions as a subject. Number 2. The question is whether we have enough resources to complete the task. Which one is the noun clause and what is the function? Yes, the noun clause is whether we have enough resources to complete the task. it functions as complement. Number 3, her statement that she delivered with confidence left a lasting impression on the audience. Which one is the noun clause and what is the function? Yes, the noun clause is that she delivered with confidence, and it functions as a positive. Number 4, she didn't understand why he was upset. Which one is the noun clause and what is the function? Yes, the noun clause is why he was upset and the function is an object.
Everybody, now let's talk about adjective clause. What is adjective clause? An adjective clause is a group of words that acts as an adjective in a sentence. It gives information about noun and pronoun. Adjective clause is also known as a relative clause. Adjective clause usually use conjunctions such as who, whom, whose, which, and that.
Adjective clause is divided into restrictive and non-restrictive clause. Restrictive clause is a type of adjective clause that provides essential information about the noun it modifies. It restricts or narrows down the meaning of the noun it modifies. Restrictive clauses are not set off by commas because they are essential to the meaning of the sentence, while the non-restrictive clause is a type of dependent clause that provides additional information about a noun or pronoun in a sentence. Unlike restrictive clause, non-restrictive clause is not essential to the meaning of the sentence and can be removed without changing the core meaning of the sentence. Non-restrictive clauses are typically set off by commas to indicate that they are additional information and could be omitted without affecting the main point of the sentence. Example of restrictive clause. The woman who won the race is my friend. Who won the race is a restrictive clause. It gives information about the woman and it specifies which woman among others. Look at the difference with this sentence. Susan, who won the race yesterday, is my friend. Who won the race yesterday is a non-restrictive clause. It gives additional information about Susan, but could be removed without changing the main point of the sentence.
Now, let's analyze these sentences. Which parts are adjective clauses and decide whether they are restrictive or non-restrictive clauses. Number 1. Apple, whose stock sort is based in California. Number 2. The woman who wears blue veil is my mother. Number 3. Mr. Mark, whom I spoke to yesterday, is the head of university. Number 4. The person whom I spoke to is the head of university.
Let's check the answer. Number 1. Which one is adjective clause? Is it restrictive or non-restrictive? Yes, whose stock sort is adjective clause. It is non-restrictive adjective clause. It gives additional information about Apple, but could be removed without changing the main point of the sentence. Number 2. Which one is adjective clause? Is it restrictive or non-restrictive? Yes, who wears blue veil is adjective clause. It is restrictive clause. It gives information about the woman and it specifies which woman among others. Number 3. Which one is adjective clause? Is it restrictive or non-restrictive? Yes, Whom I spoke to yesterday is adjective clause. It is non-restrictive one. It gives additional information about Mr. Mark, but could be removed without changing the main point of the sentence. Number 4. Which one is adjective clause? Is it restrictive or non-restrictive? Yes, whom I spoke to is adjective clause. It is restrictive one. It gives information about the person and it specifies the particular person.
Dear all, we have discussed about noun clause and adjective clause. I hope you enjoy this session. Well, that's all from me. See you in the next session. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.